Hey everyone, so today we're going to do this video. This is something that I always wanted to do. It's a quiz that tells you where you fit in the political spectrum. Quiz is about is from an open navigation and it's called the political compass. This is just the first thing I found on Google. And it has this recommendation. It says it's not a survey; those are a proposition. Question the logic of the individual. One that irritate you is to miss the point. Some propositions are extreme and some are moderate. That's how that's how we can show whether you lean forward extremism or moderation on the compass. Your response should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. Their purpose is to trigger reaction in the mind, measuring, feeling, etc. Okay, well, let's go with English. Okay, it says page 1 out of 6. So how many of the? Okay, that's not too much, too long. So it says in the if the economic globalization is inevitable, it will primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of the transnational corporation. Globalization. Well, I don't agree with globalization, but so I will. It has to serve humanity, yes. But the problem is that the transnational the corporation are too greedy. So, but in terms of proposition, I will agree with that. Anyway, I will support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Strongly disagree. I don't give no shit about my country. I have no allegiance to it. I'm a free citizen of the world, and pretty much all these lines and borders and all that, that's just imaginary. Somebody drew the line, and I don't have to conform anything. I have no like nationalism in me. No one chose their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Exactly, that's just what I said. Yes, no one chose their country, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Yes, strongly agree. Yeah, you can be proud of it, and sometimes people live it, the Westerners, very proud of their countries, but the history. I mean, I don't know what part of the history you're proud of. Oh, because that if you're gonna be if you're gonna take credit for the good things, you also have to take credit for the bad things. But that's not. You want to individualize the blame when it comes to the atrocities and the mass murders and all that. So our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. What do you mean, the race of human beings? I don't subscribe to the idea of race, but I believe that's you're talking about humans. I would say some races, but it's more like quality. It has nothing to do with skin color or anything. So I will disagree. Sometimes there's stuff that they're innate in certain races, but like I don't like the whole concept. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Strongly disagree. Now, I judge based on your behavior towards me. If you're nice to me and respectful, I'll be nice to you and respect you. Otherwise, I don't subscribe to the enemy of my enemy. Like, that's foolish. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Strongly disagree. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. What does word means? Worrying. What does it mean? Causing anxiety about actual or potential problem. Alarming. Yeah, it does. It does actually. It's causing anxiety about a potential problem. Yes, I would strongly agree. There's too much propaganda. I will agree with it. The reason is it depends. Certain sources are more than others, so I will agree with the proposition. Next page. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Strongly agree. Yes, sometimes people living in some first world country, if you're gonna use that term, but like you're poor, for example, like you don't own a home, you don't have a business, you don't own stocks, like you're just, you know, you're living in extreme poverty. But just because you live, let's say in America, right, and you look at somebody from Zimbabwe and you think you think you're better, but like your conditions are pretty much the same thing. So it's more about class than nationality is really it has nothing to do with like the like I said before. It's just made up stuff. controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I will disagree. You have to provide employment for people. I mean, inflation can be combated with by providing employment, stable salaries, and also like high wages. And so inflation, I think I'm not an expert in economy, but I believe it's just something that that the government is supposed to manage with various tactics and all that. But like controlling is more important. It's not more important. I think employment is more important than inflation. Because corporations cannot be trusted or to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. I strongly agree. I think the government should be above business. But the West have created this system where the business sector is controlling everything. They if they're even controlling the government, it's above. So that's the difference between China and the United States or the West in general. The capitalists, control everything. The election, they control the policies, they control pretty much everything. So it's a bad mix. I think the government is supposed to be way above, and dictate the terms and what to do, what to produce, and how much to sell it. Yeah, communism or social, we call it whatever. This is what I think. I don't think we've tried the other way. We tried the so-called capitalist free markets. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You cannot show me where it have worked. So I'm talking too much, so probably not gonna finish it. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. It's a fundamental good idea. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. I will agree. I will agree. I don't quite understand that concept, but the freer the market, the freer the people. Strongly disagree. Free market doesn't work, especially when it's the BS about like the invisible hand and all that. I don't agree with it. It has never worked. Now, when I say something, I like to use data, statistics, fact, verifiable information. But if you just believe in something, you say, well, in theory, that's how it works. You can show me where it have worked. Where? Where? Like we have no verifiable information. So it's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled branded consumer product. I will agree. Yeah, people can make profit for like basic stuff and all that, but I will agree. It's not a big deal. Water is not that expensive, so maybe uh yeah, well, pretty much like the free market, what it allows the system to do is that everything has to be transactional, including like relationships. Everything has to be transactional. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I agree. Because the problem with buying land is that it's like, well, you see with the housing crisis, the moment you introduce like money and profit into something, I think land should be like if you're born somewhere, you should get access to land automatically. Like my cat is bothering me. It is regrettable that many personal fortune are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. I will agree. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. I strongly agree because that's how most, the companies, most of the countries have made their fortune. You know, like the United States, Canada, France, Britain, and all that. But see what they do. If you read that book, it's called "Kick Away the Ladder" or something like that. When they succeed and they improve their manufacturing and all that, they kick the ladder so other people cannot. And so they coerce small nation to adopt neoliberalism type of policies and all that, and it destroy that country, but that's not how they made their fortune. It's like, and that's the power imbalance we have in the world right now. Where we are. Okay, the only responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholder. Strongly disagree. You know, that's not the responsibility. It always leads to bad decision. It always leads to bad. So I'm also like shocked in terms of like what I think about this stuff. I mean, sometimes I can be wrong, or maybe people will disagree with me, but I'm just trying to look where I stand. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly disagree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standard of medical care. Those with the ability to pay should have no. I will disagree. I mean, if you have a lot of money, you can afford, better medical services. But at the same time, this is a human right. It's not some like it's like life and death. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Strongly agree. A genuine free market requires restriction on the ability of predator multinational to create monopoly. A genuine free market. I will strongly agree. The government should be way above the business sector. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. It depends, it depends if I'm the husband, if she's my daughter, it kind of changes. But in general, I will say, if a woman's life is not threatened, I would say disagree. I don't know. I agree and disagree at the same time. So because I said it depends. All authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Strongly agree. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theater or museum that cannot survive on a commercial basis. I will agree, maybe. That cannot survive on a commercial basis. I will disagree. School should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Uh, agree. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sort of people should keep their own to their own kind. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that what the hell all but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. I don't understand like what they mean by that, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep their to their own kind. What do you mean should keep to their own kind? Like I will just disagree. I don't understand it very well. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I will agree. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. I would say yes, it's natural. Yeah, of course it's natural. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. The prime function of schooling should be to equip for future generation and to find jobs. Well, I mean, if you're gonna indoctrinate people, well, the prime function of schooling. I will disagree. That's not the point of education. You're supposed to learn something. Matter of fact, 70% of what you learn in school is like you're not gonna use it anyway. So you're not like really equipping it. You're just programming people to become obedient worker. That's the goal of the schools we have right now. So people with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Strongly disagree. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Most important for children to learn is to accept discipline. I will agree. It's a good thing. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different culture. I strongly disagree. We have a history of a group of people. I don't want to offend anybody, but you know who I'm talking about. There is some people who are savages, and it's not just the past. They're still doing it right now as we speak in 2025. You know who they are, right? And I don't want to be controversial because that's not the point of the video. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society support. This comes to the socialism question. If you got the opportunity, I will agree. I will agree. I do like socialism, but like if you got the opportunity and you can get a stable income, you gotta work. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Strongly disagree. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated with their new country. Strongly disagree. What's good for the most successful corporation is always ultimately good for all of us. Ultimately good for us. Strongly disagree. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. Disagree. Okay, well, no, this is way too long. Our civil liberty are being excessively curbed in the name of counter-terrorism. Strongly agree. A significant advantage of one-party states is that it avoids all the arguments and that delay progress in a democratic political system. Disagree. I don't like democracy because, well, you don't have it. I would like to see it. In order to believe in it, I want to see it. So if you're not gonna show me something, I mean, like, you can live in your fantasy world. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoer need to be worried. Disagree. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crime. Death penalty should be an option for the most. Disagree. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Agree. Like, you will always have power, but the problem is that when you create a structure with powerful people at the top, sometimes they're irresponsible or sometimes they're pieces of shit. And so that what's like what makes the entire situation like fragile. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Strongly disagree. Art is art. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Disagree. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's just a waste of time. But like, not in all cases. I will most criminal will you know will rehabilitate. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Disagree. Mothers may have career, but the first duty is to be homemaker. Strongly agree. Almost all politicians promise economic growth, but we should heed the warning of climate science that growth is detrimental to our effort to call global warming. I disagree. I don't believe in that bullshit. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Making peace with the establishment. I will agree. 5 out of 6. Astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. You cannot be moral without being religious. I will agree. Charity is better than social security as means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged. Charity is better than social security. It depends how many people are given. I'll disagree. Some people are naturally unlucky. Strongly agree. It is important that my child's school instill religious values. I will agree. It depends on which religion are we talking about, because not all of them are created equally. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Agree. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. In a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Same-sex couple. Strongly disagree. Pornography. This depicting consensual adults should be legal for all adult population. I will agree. What goes in private bedroom between consenting adult is no business of the state. Strongly agree. No one can feel naturally homosexual. I mean, why does it always they always bring this LGBT bullshit? Like, motherfucker, like, why this is like why is it so important for, like, and I understand this is like a Western type of website, but like, it's always skewed to that, like, anyway, no one feel can naturally homosexual. No one can feel, oh, disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. Strongly agree. Now let's see where you stand. All right, where do I stand? The starting point of the original Politic was in 2001 when we recognized the inequity of your political compass. Okay, here's the results. Economic left, right, -7 point. So, I mean the libertarian left. Yes. Is that good? Is that good result? Yeah, so I lean heavily, towards the left. And this is social scale, economic scale. Claim your free political certificate. So, social libertarian, authoritarian. I'm pretty happy with the results. I don't like the conservative bullshit, and all that. And so if you have anything to add, leave it in the comment section. If you disagree with some of my views, uh, you can discuss them, and see you next time.